Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of City Reverberations. I'm Michael,
John.
and we come to you once again in dark times
Mm.
after we blew a 15-point lead in the third quarter to lose game three of the first round of the playoffs to the San Antonio Spurs without Wemby. We had no
And home court.
answers. We had, yeah, the home court is back to the Spurs. We had no answers for either Stephen Castle or Dylan Harper, but for that matter, Luke Cornett. We don't have answers for a lot of people.
It was it was frustrating watching it, and some of what we've discussed in the past, just what they need to do to be successful. Let's just try this. This doesn't have anything to do with that, but let's try it. Is what it seemed like. We never. I don't. I never felt we were connected as a team offensively last night at
You
all.
had you had little moments like the lobs to Rob and
Y-
stuff like that. You had little moments of that, but like between two guys. That's not
Yeah,
the whole team
yeah.
action.
That we had. That was some of the positives. I'll touch on those in 1 second. But you said it during the game at some point. You were like, "I'm surprised we're ahead," and I mean, it
It
was like
felt
a
that
five
way the
point
whole
lead or
time, and
something.
it's like we look up and we're up 10, and I'm like, we don't. It doesn't feel like we're playing well enough to have any kind of a lead here, and
Yeah, we were. We were. Yeah. It felt disjointed. We didn't have any flow. We didn't have any offensive sets. We didn't have any ideas of what to do. I think we've what we see that they should do. There is no 7'4" alien in the lane. Why are we not just running it down their throats?
well,
What is this?
Denny tried, and I mean, that's one of the reasons we lost. Denny had a crap game, and
Well,
a
he
really,
wasn't alone.
I know, but yeah, he is the main thing for us
Yeah,
right now. And
yeah,
as Denny goes, the team goes. It's rare that
yeah.
he has a bad game and we win.
That
Um,
is true.
and he's not
Um,
the calls changed. He's not getting as many calls, or maybe it's the Spurs have adjusted, or but I mean, and then he gets part of his front tooth knocked out, and
yeah. I touch on that really fast. Two things with that is that if they're not going to call it that way, or they need to adjust how they are offensively. And it's always that whatever the refs are calling, okay, they're not calling the bumps and the fouls. I mean, there was another one tonight. It looked like the dude just ran a guy down, shoved off, winged him, and it's just like, dude, this isn't basketball. If you want to do that, just running back it and go straight to the hoop and run through somebody, make them call a foul. Um, you got to adjust to that. They're not going to call it. That means you can do it, or they call it, and then you go, what's the difference? And then you discuss it. You
or
make them do that.
well, what if they try it and then they get an offensive foul call on them and
Then you can then that's that to me. That's the coach going. You didn't call that there, and you call that here. There was they played. I saw the same similarities where this is different teams and games, but Booker clipped um what's his face? Crusoe. He clipped the guy in the chin. Same thing that Denny got happened to.
Caruso,
He
yeah, yeah,
Caruso. God, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't
Alex
think of that.
Caruso.
Yes. He clipped he clipped him in the chin in the like you saw his head get popped too. And Booker got an offensive foul. And it was just like, and then okay, well, how does Denny get a foul because he encroached upon his
They
space?
said he was
Like,
crowding him, but still
well, he
making
came up with an
making
elbow shooting at.
contact to somebody's face like that enough that you're breaking false teeth, like
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
that that there's got to be that can't just be incidental contact. I mean, the
no,
way that
it,
they penalize people taking blows to the head, it's like
yeah,
it should be a big deal.
yeah. Well, regardless of that, if we go on some of the other things, the negatives. I guess if you want, I can go down the list of what I got or what we did. If you want that, or do you want me to I can jump back and forth.
However you want to do it, it's fine by me.
Um, I think I said a little bit of that. So, you know, it was frustrating to watch them. We didn't do what we wanted to do. Um, we I still go back to that. San Antonio still played their good game. They finally
Yeah,
got playing their game, and again, we didn't. We didn't play anywhere near what we're capable of. You know, maybe that's a bad thing because that's somewhat what we've done all season, where we play great, great, great. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to revert to. We have no idea what we're doing. Let's just revert to that. We didn't take advantage of them not having their big in there. You know, the alien in himself and Victor. Um, we got out of what we do, and you got like Denny trying to draw fouls. It's like we started to hunt to get a foul to get something going. I can see that majority of Denny's points came from the foul line, you know, which was good. He started hitting free throws, but he couldn't shoot a lick from anywhere else outside of the free throw lane with nobody defending him.
right.
Um, our inconsistencies went back to we reverted to like, okay, great, let Drew deal with it. Whatever happens, happens is what it felt like. We never got in sync. Um, I'll touch on the positives. Drew was a great positive. He's clearly trying to do it, but it became almost everybody watch him go. See if he
Well,
can just
he's
dribble.
trying to lead by example, and like as you just said, it doesn't work when everybody's just watching you and like, oh well, good. At least he's
Yeah.
got something going. But no, it needs to be inspiring you to also get your own thing going.
Robert Williams the third, as a backup center, I don't know how we can't. We should resign him because I don't think you're going to find anybody that can do that as that and just step in and okay, go. And
No, we
he was
absolutely have to. He's that's paramount, I
yeah.
think. To
I I don't know if you can find a better backup, and I think he would. He fits here with who we have. He's not gonna. I mean, he's gonna demand a bigger contract, but he's
although
not gonna go
I
star.
could see with all the cheapy rumors of all the different, well, I guess they're not rumors; it's flat out reporting at this point. I could see them going, "Oh no, we're not going to re-sign him," and Young Hansen is the new backup center of the
Oh, he's
future.
got a way to go.
No, that turkey ain't done. It needs to cook for a
Yeah,
while longer. Um,
yeah, yeah. And then those guys and Scoot, I'll say Scoot. Scoot played another pretty solid game. He was, you know, wasn't perfect. He had his little moments here, but he didn't. He seemed to try to do something outside of trying to pump himself up and get a T and flexing on the dude after he
that was
scored a bucket.
just
Yay!
dumb.
Yeah, that was stupid.
That's
The
another.
negative.
That was another thing to me.
Oh,
The Scoot thing of just how things can twist your perceptions. To me, even though he ended up having decent stats, what he scored like 21, 23, something like that. Um,
yeah, I think something close to that.
it did to me. It felt like he didn't have a good game. And
I didn't. His points didn't.
I think it was, directly because of the comparison on the floor happening at the same time with Stephen Castle and Dylan Harper.
Yeah, and
You're
I think
watching
yeah,
2 players that are younger than him outplay him
yeah, experience. Yeah,
significantly.
and then I think Drew's play you focused on too, and it's like nobody stepped up to do that.
Right.
You know, even
Well,
um,
the other thing is I think we look at that sometimes as a good thing, but when there's too much of it, he's doing
yeah,
that because he feels like nothing else is working. That's not his default
that's
state.
that's the feeling I get completely. Nobody's doing anything, and then my last main point of it, it's the negatives of nobody doing anything. You had Tumani, Denny, Klingon, and Grant were 10 of 38, which is
Tamani
26 point something.
needs to be, scoring more if we have any
Yeah,
chance hope of
anything.
success. He
Yeah,
needs
I
to
mean that is. I think he hit one shot.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he was like 1 for 6. Grant was, you know, he did other things and got a few other things going, but he still was, you know, throwing up bricks. Denny was like 3 of 15 or something ridiculous, and it's just like he kept going to the line. I don't know if those count that it's a shot if he gets fouled. I don't think that
I
does.
don't think it does.
Um, but so he's missing everything else, like I said, besides the free throws. And you know, DC would hit a couple buckets, but he's kind of. I know we'll touch on some more of him, but um, 10 of 38 is bad. That goes back to the last one where I think whoever the four I picked, we were what, like 12 for 42 or something. You're in that 26, 27, 28% free throw or field goal percentage. I know I saw that blip tonight. The Denver in the second half was like 29%, I think you said. It's like, yeah, you're
They
going
were
to get your
not
butts
good.
kicked.
It's
Yeah, it
crazy
was
to
just
me that they're losing so badly, and especially with DiVincenzo
those guys.
and
Yeah.
Edwards out. That's just unbelievable to me.
I I think I know we touched base before that or after that happened. It's kind of like the way it sounds. That's yeah. DiVincenzo could very well be out. I think I don't know what they didn't say that in the post game. I didn't hear him say it. They said that
I didn't
I guess
hear
he
him
heard.
say the exact
Yeah,
injury, but it seemed a lot like a Achilles rupture.
yeah, that very well could be. And then Ant, I know Ant, hyperextend your knee, your other knee, I believe, the one
Right.
without the brace. It's like, all right, yeah, that you ain't going anywhere. That team's, they can beat Denver. You who do they run into next? LA?
Yeah.
And LA's getting healthier. LeBron's
Right.
not to give them props. He's playing at a ridiculous level. The stuff he does.
I
I don't
still
know how
want to
much
know, are
he's
they drug testing him? I
I was
want
gonna
to
say
know
something. Yeah,
i-
is
i- if Dame gets drug tested after a high scoring performance, 41-year-old LeBron should get drug tested after every game.
for playing at the level he is. It is they I saw we'll take that tangent with there was the a blip of him doing that reverse dunk and
Right.
they showed the like 20 years ago and now and it's just like he's not that much off of it. I mean it was the science breakdown guy and it was just like wow, he's still getting up like that, and it's like yeah, okay. I don't know what's ever is in his bowl of cereal in the morning is probably fairly expensive, I would assume,
It's
to keep him
extra good for you.
extra good for you. So, um, yeah, that is the things I saw. I think if we go back to like what we spoke on in the sense of what they need to do, um, they didn't do shite comparatively
Yeah.
to win. Yeah, I mean, they just take care of the ball. I did see that. I think they only had 11 turnovers.
Yeah, they're doing good on that, but they're screwing so many
Everything
other
else they
things
didn't.
up that it doesn't matter if you have a couple good areas when you're screwing a lot of other things up and you have
Yeah.
no answers for multiple players on their team.
Yeah, we didn't. So if we go back to quick little blip ones, take care of the ball. Great, we did it. Hit shots, open, timely. No.
No,
Deeper into the bench. No.
no.
Be more physical.
Well, it
No.
was they did give Chris Murray a few minutes,
Well, they
but
had to at that point almost.
right, but
It's just
it's not enough. It's not enough to keep people fresh. I mean, you
no.
need to be doing that early and often, and yeah,
I that it's this. You look at how Minnesota played. Minnesota played tonight. They got an amazing career night out of um,
Sumu,
Desumu off the bench, great, but they needed him.
right?
Um, your point of the their youth is playing better than our twice as much experienced players. Yes, Sharp is coming off an injury. He doesn't look like he's engaged at all. You
No.
know, he just looks like, what am
No,
I
I think
doing?
that yeah, I think
All
that's
right,
2 things. I think that 1, he is coming off an injury, and he probably does have a minutes restriction, but the other is that he's getting exposed on defense and hunted on defense, and once that
yeah,
starts happening, you have to take somebody out of the game.
yeah. Or you got to step your damn defense up, which
Yeah, but
he,
he's not
you know,
able to do that, though, so he gets taken out of the game.
yeah. So, yeah, it was frustrating. I had nothing else to say. I was like, just you heard me boo. I was like, boo. That was just
Yeah.
garbage. You guys totally squandered the opportunity of that home court. I talked to the guy at work who went to the game. He's like, yeah, first half was great, man. It was awesome. The start first quarter, everything. And then he said the same thing. And he follows basketball from afar. And he said the same thing that you and I have been saying And he's just like, it's like, yeah, they just didn't, you know, didn't just they stopped doing the basics and simple things that would work. And I'm just like, it's not rocket science. It's like, I know we come on the game last night when we were down near the end, late in the fourth quarter or something. I think 4 minutes or so, when they ran off like three straight buckets, all driving to the hoop, just attacking it. Denny got one, and a couple other people got one. It was just, guys, it's an easy game plan. If they aren't going to stop you, take the buckets. Everybody attack. They don't have anybody to stop you in there.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. All right. Your takes on what you saw last night.
Well, first and foremost, if Danny doesn't play like an all-star, we just aren't winning most
Yeah.
games.
I mean, yeah.
Which I'll get to this later, and but I think that it's not the worst thing in the world because in this season you've given Denny a lot of success. His first All Star. They haven't announced most improved yet, have they?
Yeah, they gave it to Alexander.
Oh, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Walker. Yeah, Walker.
he was a runner up for most improved player. He had a lot of positive for him, but
Yeah,
having a failure like this is, I think, a solid way of him going into next season, and any kind of, not that I think he was going to have a problem or anything, but there could be the whole whose team is this bullshit. And Denny,
yeah.
it is his team right now, but Dame, it's his team just from historical
It
stuff. And so I think having a failure like that, it it tills the ground to make it more receptive to planting seeds for the next year, I guess, is a different way of looking at it.
I Yep, I would run with that. It's not He has not taken ownership of it fully. He's still trying to get it. It's not that Dame has it, but there Dame can walk on that floor. He could walk on that floor tomorrow, and everybody be like, "All right, what are we doing?" He's still going to have that even next season, but he and I see him, and he's done this in the past where I think Dame will he always is seeing and monitoring what's going on with it. And I don't think he has a problem of passing that off and going, "This is your team. I'm going to be right here for you if you need it. And I'm going
I
to do what I can to win, but I will help you win and be that." I think he understands that Denny is the motor
I
that runs the
I
team.
totally agree with that, but I don't think so. In saying what I was just saying, I don't think the problem would be coming from Dame. I think if there's going to be a problem, it could come from Denny, from just the way Portland and the crowd reacts to Dame versus him. There is a
Yeah.
favoritism there, and because of what Dame has already earned as a
Yeah.
Blazer, and
There's a lot.
Denny hasn't earned that yet, and so hopefully he has a nice, well-adjusted point of view on it. But I've seen
I,
people get distracted by smaller shit than that before.
yeah. I would think, I think this team is
I
tired.
don't think it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
I,
be
I
fine. I think they both wanna get, get on the same page and win
yeah,
together, and it's
yeah.
gonna be fine with all that. I'm just saying
They're
occasionally players have lots of people, well, occasionally, all the time, players have lots of people talking in their ears, and if
Yeah.
if there isn't
They got to figure it
success at
out.
first, yeah, but if there isn't success at first, and he's
Yeah.
Denny will be coming into the next year will be his final year of his contract, so he'll be wanting to set himself up for a new contract. And does that mean Portland or does that mean somewhere else? And that goes right back into the ownership. And are they cheapos? And do they care about re-signing Denny or not? Or do they do something stupid and move him for Giannis?
That'd be dumb. I think.
That'd be
I think
horribly dumb.
I'll go on this. You're touching on something too, and this is kind of lateral in that aspect. You have Everybody always says there's a learning curve in learning to win. There's a
Yeah.
curve in learning to win. We as a team, this is the first team we've had together this season for what, a month,
Yeah,
couple weeks, truly,
yeah.
and have them all together. You got to learn to play together. And we abandoned, we adjusted and abandoned the way we started the season. If we'd have stayed that way, if we had that same idea that we could do that now with, hey, we got, dude, let's put Wesley out there for a change up of pace so we can be just flat out aggressive defensively. I think
Mhm.
if we had that established for 3 4 months, then it'd be like, oh, we can stay this way because they still got to work on the offensive side, but our offense would be easier to do because the turnovers, the defensive pressure is going to cause more pressure, and we get easier buckets, which we don't have to set an offense or do anything.
Okay,
I think the learning to win.
here's a
Yeah, go.
hypothetical for you. You're the coach. You're Tiago Splitter last night. If do you think putting Blake Wesley in on Harper or Castle would have made a difference?
I wouldn't have put. I honestly, if I would have put somebody, it wouldn't have been Wesley off the top because we haven't ran the scheme in his style because he's smaller. I would have put City in.
Yeah,
City is a big freaking dude, and we talked on this a little bit outside of this. Let him. He always brings energy.
yeah,
Always brings it. He's going to compete because he doesn't want to lose, and we can touch on that down the road too. He's the only real dog we got
yeah,
that's going to be like, hey, I don't, let him go out there and get it. No, he's going to get a T. He doesn't play dirty, but he is not afraid to play physical, and he's built like a freaking running back.
yeah,
Let him go body somebody. Let him attack the hoop. Okay, great. Then you change the dynamic that they have to encounter him. We got to stop him
right.
somehow, at least get in front of him, kick out. Oh, somebody might hit a wide open shot, or Drew has an easier shot, or he's the only one that's making a damn 3 pointer. So, you know, but you change what San Antonio and how they have to play defense. We stopped doing anything that was attacking.
I hope we see tomorrow city minutes and specifically like if Jeremy or Shaden doesn't
Yeah,
step up,
yeah.
their minutes are first on the chopping block.
Yes, you got to put him out there, and you can. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter. Sharp is out there with other great defenders. We've always fought as a team. We're playing decent defense. I think the shots that they're hitting are just like, okay, great. It's almost like, again, it seems like we just dropped off of what we do. It's like we just stopped playing in San Antonio. Just, oh, cool. We're just going to stay at our level, go all the way across and just stay there. We'll step it up when we need to if it's close. But if not, we can coast it, just our normal, hey, 62 win level. Portland never, it's like we never got out of the starting blocks to get up to that level, it seems.
Right. Well,
You
and
know,
then think about what San Antonio is doing. Okay, so game three rolls around, and your best player, freshly minted defensive player of the year, is not playing. And what do? You count on a rookie
yeah,
to be one of your best scorers, best players in the game. How often does that happen? Never.
no, never, no. Very, very, very rarely over the years, even.
I mean,
Yeah, it just,
if
we,
that
we,
is,
we
I
don't,
mean, if you're in, if you're interested in the Spurs being a dynasty, then it's great for you. But if you're interested in more players on or more good players on more good teams, I think that is a case in point example of why a team should not get top three draft picks in consecutive years because
yeah, you got to,
they
yeah.
got Wemby and then they got Castle the next year and then they got Dylan Harper the next year.
She said, "Gah, sure, here you go. Well, let's rebuild that squad down there because they just lost. Yeah, they lost the big three that they had. So actually, yeah, well, three
Yeah,
slash four.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Well, move on to the next thing.
go. Yeah.
Donovan not outperforming Cornette. I mean, I guess Donovan is still a second year player and he's a big and they take the longest to develop, but it's just disappointing after what a good year he had that he's just getting clearly outplayed by a backup big.
it doesn't. He looks like he's a rookie. He looks lost on all. I mean, he got what, like 11 boards or something, and it's like, okay, great. That's because you're 7 foot, but you're not changing what they do. You're not an
No.
offensive anything threat. I think he is getting the physicality of the playoffs is taking a toll because you see him frustrated, and I think he does.
Yeah, he
It
is
looks like
getting
a lot like he
he
gets hands on stuff and just gets beat the crap out of him. It's
yeah,
like he gets hammered or hit
he
or
gets mauled a lot, and they don't call shit on
yeah,
him. So
that's
I get
and it
that
sucks
frustration.
because yeah, um, that's where you want to see him, dude. Lay some wood on somebody and see if they do it again. Get it if you got a foul, you got six.
Yeah.
You ain't you're not doing much else. Might as well fill the stat line up with something. You get more fouls than points. Sure, as long as you make somebody know that no, stop doing the shit. I'm going to make myself known. Then yeah, he's got more things to work on. It's new to him. This is maybe but he's used to doing that. I guess he's had the freaking two finals in the NCAA and college, so
No.
it's like
Well,
it
you
just
know,
doesn't.
this is another thing that, in trying to find what are the silver linings of losing this series, I think for
Yeah,
him, that championship background and his just obvious hunger and, all that stuff, having a bad end to your first
yeah,
playoffs is gonna be a tremendous motivator, and I
yeah,
think he's the type of player that will that's a
yeah.
good thing
Going to
for.
woodshed. I agree with you. I think as a whole, obviously, even we get through this round. I would love to see us go win Sunday, go back down there, we win or lose, come back here. We can push. I mean, minimally, let's get to 6 games. Let's get even to 7. Let's go back there and cause them to have the pressure on in their house. That's more experience. And again, you got to learn how to win. You go down there and compete like you did in game 2. You get to the fourth quarter, that home team is going to be like, all right, we got to do everything to our best. Yes, Portland has to play their best too, but um, put the pressure. Minimally, now it's looking at is get the experience. You need to learn it. You know, is it worth a draft pick? There, we'll go back to
No.
that question. Yeah,
No, just because I turned into a fan, because we're in the playoffs and we gave up the draft pick doesn't mean that what I was saying all year isn't still how I feel. The
yeah,
better outcome this year would have been to not be in this series, not be in the playoffs, to be excited about our
yeah,
minuscule chances in the lottery here coming up in whenever it is, a month or uh, that's still better. Adding another lottery pick would still be better, um, because
yeah.
that's a whole nother wrinkle of all this cheapskate new owner bullshit. How many free who are you attracting to Portland right now with all this negative talk around
Not with,
about the new
not with
owners?
the, yeah, not with the feeling of what is being put out. The perception is not good. I got
And
Todd and Buddy in California calling me. He's like, he sent me something on that when they said the cheap stuff. He sent me an article, and I was just like, "Yep, that doesn't look good at all." And I'm like, I saw it up here. It's usually on on another. I usually try to tell them go to Blazers Edge if you want stuff. There's people there that are pretty plugged in, and it'll tell you, rumors or what's not, and it's not some of the garbage sites that just throw out stuff. But his was solid, and I was like, I saw that. Yeah, that's not good. It is perceived as very bad, along with the other things that are going on with um, that are in the news about it. Whatever, looking for coaches. It's like,
that
dude,
is just
still freaking coaching.
disrespectful. That's
Yeah,
disrespectful. How I mean, maybe they've had a conversation with them and it's all fine, but to me, the guy is doing his best to win.
yeah.
Or hey, you know what? Maybe the new ownership feels the same way I do, and this is their way of punishing Tiago for being successful, is to
I think
openly interview for his replacement while he's still
during the
coaching
season,
the playoffs,
I think somebody asked him that, and his response, I took it. He said, I'm trying to be professional," and I was
right?
kind of like, yeah, you feel slighted there. That's not a um Oh yeah, great, sure. I hope he finds somebody great. No, f
Right,
that.
I mean, it's right in that statement. I'm trying to be
Yeah,
professional.
yeah. It's like, dude. A for one, he didn't want the job.
Yeah.
None of them wanted to freaking be a head
Well,
coach all of a sudden. It's
he
like they
wants
weren't
it
hired
now.
that. Well, clearly, yeah. I think he's got, I, and I,
I think he's earned
I
it
would like to
too.
see him have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's earned that. Is there anybody better out there? We don't. We touched on that
Not
where
that I've
you
heard
throw
of.
some. No, you're gonna bring in somebody, Steve Kerr. That'd be
No.
the.
The cheapskate owner is going to hire a $14 million a year coach
No.
that just ended one of the most successful runs ever.
Yeah.
No, that's not
Yeah.
happening, and plus Steve Kerr wouldn't do any part of that.
No. Um, although he is a he's got pop experience and he's got a Blazer connection and he played against Tiago. I don't know if he ever played with him. Did he get one with Tiago? Did he get he got did that would have been what? Tiago got one. When did Tiago
24
get his?
2014. No, I don't think Steve Kerr is already out of the league. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. He'd have been.
he was he had already been a free or not a free agent, a front office person for the
Oh, that's right.
Suns
Yeah, yeah,
right before he got the coaching job at Golden State with no previous coaching experience. And
yeah. Cool. Well, he got some. He has some good knowledge then, and puts some good people
yeah,
around him. But
we're not getting anybody named Steve Kerr unless it's some other guy named Steve Kerr. Um,
um, I'll go back to I think Tiago's earned it. I don't want to see. I mean, you want to rebuild. You now start a whole new offense and a whole new scheme of whatever you're going to do, and you're going to go into a year of rebuilding that to make it great.
yeah,
You know,
that's like tearing down your in progress rebuild.
yeah,
It's just like so we are already in a rebuild and have been in a rebuild for several years, and we're finally starting to get positive effects on it. I would be real
yeah,
hesitant to be changing anything drastic.
no, you're
They've proven that as a front office, as a coaching staff, other than Chauncey and his idiocy, um, that they're moving things in a good direction. And the
yeah,
players, I mean, the team that they built is there's a lot of good moves. I mean, it's not perfect, but who saw the Denny move happening? Who knew that Denny was going to turn into an all-star on the best contract in the league? And
yeah.
I mean, Joe
Do what he did.
Cronin knew
Well, he
that.
backed it up. The
Not,
other piece of this, I don't think we're also comparing what if we had a perfect season. We had nowhere near an easy season as a team. How many injuries? We changed the entire way that we played. We didn't have a point guard. We got a forward that turned into a point forward in Denny, and hey, let's get our point guard back at a month to go in the season. Let's let Scoot come back in. Shaden gets hurt. Grant goes out for a chunk. Drew goes out for a chunk. It's like you don't even have a full squad. I mean, literally, we got the full squad at the end of the season here with, who was the last one to come off of it? Not Scoot. Was it Matisse got hurt again?
mhm.
We got little things. It's just like we've never had that full squad. Can we start a season and then, which we haven't touched on, you are going to put in an all-star Hall of Famer, top 75 dude in Damian Lillard that if anybody's seen his videos of what he's doing and shooting, he will change the way they defend him. And I wondered, and I just thought of this right now. I wonder if he's really like, I'm stepping out to where you have to guard me, or I'm going to just hit threes all day long.
Yeah,
Before if he's tighter, if he's farther out, you stretch and open that that lane up even more.
right.
Even if he's not going to be 100%. If he's 90%, that's going to be a big problem for a lot of people
He
because
doesn't
he's going to
need
be
to
able to
be
come off a pick.
he doesn't need to be 100% to have a massive positive impact on next
Yeah,
year's team.
yeah. Just even anything he's going to do is going to be like, oh, again, yeah, we probably should try to get opening tickets for that because
Yeah.
it's going to be that's going to be a hell of a that's going to be like a 5 minute ovation. you know. Um,
Well,
but yeah, we didn't have a squad together, and we're I think it's just naturally gets lost that that's what we're comparing a great team to. It's like, hey, well, they haven't played, they haven't done great this year. Great, we're limped into it. It's like we didn't even have a team. We were supposed to be under 500. You
right,
know, people are what 35 wins or something,
right,
34 wins. Let's get that. No, we got better than that. You know, and it's like, yeah, you guys, they over exceeded what they were supposed to do. That's not the word I want. Um, overachieved, you know, in a sense, because we didn't have a full, you know, the changes that we went through. If I like you and I originally have said as well, the first couple of weeks we were like, oh, we need to go change our win totals here because they are playing defense like, you know, you have the teams you have the rest of the league going like, we don't want to play that. That's not going to be fun.
right.
So, um, yeah, I think this all leads to take this series, take what we can from it. If we win, spectacular, just more fuel to, you know, burn next year. And it's like, look, you got to learn how to win it. And if they learn to win it in 2 games, great. I'll be surprised. I'd love to see it go 7, win or lose. You know, I was like, that's beyond what I was expecting,
I don't know. Right
beyond what we
now,
kind of were wanting.
I'm feeling that we're going to be lucky if we're going to make it to my prediction of 6 games.
Yeah,
I
we'll see
mean,
what goes. Yeah,
we have 2 chances to. I mean, we have to win.
yeah.
Yeah,
We got Sunday. Tomorrow's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be. They. I'm still impressed that they constantly fight, no matter what. You know, we don't ever stop. You know, playing even if we're not playing with any organized structure to run an offense. You know, the defense is always at least there. Effort is there. That's what I would say.
yeah.
All right, what else do we got? We got interviewing the coaches. Yeah, a little disrespectful.
Um,
Um,
I don't know the whole. I didn't realize it at the time, but in watching videos today, just describing third to fourth quarter as a San Antonio went on a 45-15 run.
third and the fourth. Ugh.
We were up 15, and then they were up
Yeah,
15, and
that's bad. That goes with a little bit where it's just like we looked. I got a feeling we were lost,
yeah.
you know, and they couldn't rely on the defense because obviously the guys shot great. I think you hit on a little bit at one point. They were probably gassed. They didn't look like they had energy, even from out of the blocks. You know, they come out and
No,
playing, but
it was kind of like, okay, we're doing the things that we talked about in halftime, and we're not getting calls, so what do we do now? And they didn't,
yeah,
like, they were looking to have somebody
yeah,
tell them that as opposed to have something in their head of another mode to go into.
yeah.
Um,
That's the hey, yo, end of the bench. You guys sit down here and have watched the whole first half. Go. You know, I remember
yeah,
like James and I when we were coaching that. I, James had no fear of just be like, all of you in and just yank all the starters. It doesn't matter. He's like, I want somebody who wants to play. Um, yeah, yeah, throw somebody in there just to cause chaos. And then, hey, you got the green light. City, go, just play.
yeah,
You know, create, do something. Murray isn't even come out energy. His role has been reduced too. It's like he usually came in. You're like, he's going to get hands on something. He's going to get rebound. He's going to do something that's just it's energy. It's that change of pace that we, you know, it's like cool. He gives energy that fuels everybody else. Then he gets a rebound, gets it to Denny. Go. You know, now it's like, oh, we might get a rebound. Oh, we didn't get the rebound. No, let's get back on defense.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
or yeah,
We need to bring City in for sure.
yeah. I think that's just it'll be interesting to see him. He's got to use him strategically if you just throw him out there because then that changes the whole rotation. But it's like, hey, you're gonna get some time here. Let's see what you got, and then you know he's got to go in and cause a little bit of problems for them. You know, for San Antonio and be like, all right, how do we stop this guy? Or hey, if he just plays defense and shuts down whoever he's defending, great. You know, I don't see him as that solid. You know, he's not a lock him up, but he's physical and he's not going to just let him do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then everybody else needs to still bring it. So yeah, 45 to 15 run. That's not very good.
That's
That's
painful.
never.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. Well, yeah, we were frustrated.
I think most of the
Uh,
other things that I have, we've already touched on. One thing we didn't is, and this watching the Denver Minnesota or the end of that game tonight, and watching Jade McDaniels go and score a layup as they're up 12 with seconds left, and then Jokic going and getting in his face. I
hold
I
me back. Hold me
I
back. Hold me back.
I won't
I'm a,
say
I'm a,
start a fight because he wasn't trying to start a fight. He was trying to get them to start a fight because he was
yeah,
seeing his team about, a second and 3/10 away from going down 3-1 as they're the 3 seed
yeah.
and losing to a team that lost 2 starters in that game that you just lost. And I think that it was a manufactured event trying to rile people first off to try and trap Minnesota bench players into a fight or instigating something that will get some suspensions, and a
You
bunch of them left the
Russell
bench,
or
so
yeah,
maybe
both
there
the bench
there
came
will be
off the
some.
bat.
Um,
Yeah,
but then it's also to motivate your own team to like, "Hey, we need to snap out of this or we're done." And so I was
Randall.
thinking about it, it's like, who does that on our team? And
We only have excuse me. The only guy to me that has that, like I said earlier, is City.
yeah,
He is not afraid to mix it
right,
up.
and what are the consequences of not playing him besides the rotational things that we've discussed ad
Yeah,
nauseum? It's like, if you're putting your dog on a chain in its house, what
yeah.
what deterrence is it? What kind of a positive
There's
effect is
nothing.
having that dog do for you? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with all the stuff you said earlier. We need to bring him in and
That the manufacturing, I would. Joker is that smart that there's a part of me is like that's really can be really smart because you take that back to freaking Denver, the crowd is going to be like, that Denver is rowdy. They can be rowdy, especially
yeah,
for with the team now. Um, it would be interesting because if they don't have those two other players, that can be they played great tonight, but that's at home, and you're walking into Denver, Mile High. It's a different. That can be a very bad place to play, and you can get your
right.
ass handed to you. They're not afraid of it. Randall, I was talking about, Randall tried to be a tough guy, come off the bench and all, but I think he was in the game, so it didn't probably affect it that much. Um, yeah, we need somebody to just have an attitude, just like, nope, f off. I don't care what you're doing. Again, run somebody down, see what they do.
Can we contact
Let
the
them
Blazers
partake.
video group and have them put together a montage of, like, Maurice Lucas and Buck Williams and Brian Grant and just say, "Hey, can some of this sponge off onto you, please?" And
Brian Grant and Carl Malone battles. That was brutal. Those guys, that was heavyweights.
I
Buck
mean,
was Buck, and he was
l
tough as all
let
nails.
us
But
not forget the OG, Mo Lucas,
oh yeah,
fists
yeah.
up
Ooh,
in game 2 of the
Moses
finals.
Dawkins,
Get
Dawkins,
with
right?
Daryl Dawkins, yeah, and then the move to go over and shake his hand right before the game when everybody's expecting, "Oh, how's this fight going to play out?" And
Yeah,
and just threw him
just like
off,
shock.
and then we won
Yeah,
4 games in a row.
yeah. That was fun. Yeah, Mo, the enforcer. That's an appropriate name. Yeah, he brought. He was not afraid, and I think if I remember stories about that, it was like he's out there as like anybody messes with somebody, it's me, Walton. I am protecting Walton. He does not get touched that way. You know, yeah. You go back to those, yeah, and the NBA was a little tougher back then. You can't do that now, clearly, because I mean, there's things back then that's like, dude, that's an ejection. that is not a that's not a flagrant one. That is you are gone instantly because you freaking swung on and clocked the dude in the face. Oh, it's a personal foul. Shoot free throws. Come back out on the floor. You know. Um, yeah, I think we probably don't need to change what we've spoke of in the last time about what they need to do. Obviously what we've
No, I think that remains unchanged.
unchanged.
We've talked about they need to go deeper into the bench. They need to and you have to go deeper into the bench to make other principles of the way you run your team work. You cannot keep the pace up. You cannot keep the defense up if you aren't cycling players in and out at a faster pace than they have been. And this whole shortening the bench in the playoffs, I realize everybody does it, and they usually do it just because you have to ride your best players. But
But they haven't much. Some of those other, I mean, we've gone to like 10, but that's their minimal minutes. You look at some of, oh, I'm totally spacing who it was. I think it was Oklahoma. Oklahoma played, they go deep. They go 10 and they play double digit minutes down that far, even when they're not blowing somebody out.
yeah,
Um, so it's like, yeah, look at the way those teams run it. They run bench players in and do stuff, and it's like they place, significant minutes. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what we're wishful for as a team of how we want them to play. Because it's like, I don't know. I mean, from my coaching of games with youth, it's like, yeah, I want a bench that I can throw anybody out there and they can go play. It's like that's what you build the team for. You're gonna have your studs, but they may have a crappy night. Somebody needs to step up and go in their place. Or you need to change the flow of the game because your starters are sleepwalking. So
yeah.
yeah, I think if they, obviously this is a stupid statement, but if they can do the things that they didn't do or that we've already discussed, if they can do those things, obviously it still comes down to hitting damn shots. You can't shoot under 30% for a game for just a few of the people and expect to win if you're not playing lockdown defense and causing them to have the same challenge. We played good for 2.5 quarters ish, just because we kept a lead and built a lead. And then we decided to go, I don't know, check out.
I just added a picture of Maurice Lucas in the with Dawkins,
Nice.
the
Um,
enforcer, the
yeah,
original enforcer.
you got to have somebody. That style of basketball is kind of gone. There's only one or two people in the league that are remotely that way. Um, but even them, they know, yeah, can't throw. You can't be the enforcer. You can
No,
stand up.
I mean,
Great.
there's still some. I mean, the Warriors don't have their success unless Draymond's playing that role.
Very true. Very,
So,
very, very true. You
anyways,
had back,
tomorrow,
yeah, 12:30
what is your prediction?
time.
Do they tie the series or are we
I
down 3-1?
I think we can tie it. I think we
No,
tie
not
it.
can. What are you
I think
predicting?
I
Where
think we tie it. I'll go out on that limb. I don't believe, I think everybody's gonna be pissed off. Um and they again they have to play all 4 quarters, clearly. I don't think we can shoot that bad again. We our our natural progress through the season has been play great, play bad, play great, play bad, play. There is no consistency. So to go along with that, we're just back to playing good basketball. And I'm still going to go back to San Antonio has played their 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 level of play starts here and they take it up when they have to.
yeah.
We've played not to that, and we've competed, and at times we're playing at it or even a little bit better. But again, I still see us as like we are not playing at a full throttle pace, a full throttle. Hey, everything's clicking. It's not, and we still get these leads. It makes me kind of go, we really have that much talent. It's not like we're doing anything special, and we hope. How do we get a 15-point lead? How do we beat them in game two? Come back from 14 down. We did what they did, or they did
Mhm.
what we did. Really, it's like, hey, how do we get that? Okay, great. Why can't you just lock into that and play that way 48 minutes? What is wrong with that? That's obviously what you're trying to do. And the really, really good teams either do that or they have that switch where it's just like, all right, enough messing around, turn it on, let's go and lock down. That we don't have. We haven't had consistency. We haven't had the full players to even execute that for the whole season. So we're still putting new people in and we're not using, maybe that's it too. We're putting in people that we are expecting because of their position they're going to get more time when it's like, look who played through most of the season. Even though if we didn't win games, but they played a chunk of minutes, was the bench.
Yeah.
Murray, City, even Love. Um, they came in and spelled those other guys for big time, big chunks of time.
I think the argument works better for City than for Love. Love was a special
Yeah, yeah,
situation when we had like 5 point guards on the roster and 4 of them are hurt. Of course,
yeah,
Caleb Love is gonna get a ton of run at that point, and
yeah. I'm not saying
so
he needs to get run, but my point was that our bench, he won games for us, but it
Totally,
was
totally,
we
but
relied
I'm just
on
saying
the
it
depth.
was situational, and I don't
Yes.
think that we would benefit from Caleb Love minutes tomorrow,
No,
whereas
no,
I
no.
do believe that we would benefit from City minutes for sure.
Yeah, I think you got to figure out how to work him in there. It's just going to be, hey, you haven't played all series. Here you go, let's go.
We're expecting
Because
energy from you.
yeah, and then he should. I would bet if he gets in the game, that crowd is going to be all over it. They'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I
let's
wanna see
go.
him I
'Cause
wanna see him in early. I wanna see him for sure in the first half, maybe even in the first quarter.
get him that first rotation.
Yeah,
At
get
well,
him his
first or
first
second. Yeah.
time out there on the floor early in the game and let him know that he's gonna be back, and
Yeah, yeah. Again, you change the way they have to defend. It's always adjustments, and you're making them have to go, okay, he's not really an offensive threat, but he can hit a shot. He's going to attack. Okay, if he's attacking, we got to then account for him
no.
because, and they may have Wemby back. So great. There's our accounting for him. But he's going to either go in, he's a big body, he's not going to be afraid of contact. And then on the other end, it's like you got somebody that's not afraid to be physical. And if he's going to be physical, then it's like, oh, now he's going to take up one of our guys. And then if we look at how the season has gone, that allows whether it's Denny, um, really Tumani and Matisse able to, hey, they can now hunt passing lanes. Because if City can help lock somebody up and just be physical and cut drives off, or at least get in someone's face or get over screens to just cause problems, then you make them have to adjust their offense. And that's where hey, everybody else can lock down, which we did, what, game two, and that comeback of that, I felt we locked down people pretty solid. We didn't
Yeah.
let them do anything.
I speaking of that, I'd like to see Matisse get some more minutes.
Well, talk to that individual that needs is trying to earn his coaching spot.
Yeah.
He's that rotation has just been weird, and maybe it's stuff we don't know, but I don't know. You need to use them, let them thrive in what they do best. Yeah, they all got to hit freaking shots just to score, But if you don't score, you got to shut the other team down. You got to stop them from scoring. Make them take a super hard shot. Give them credit. They hit some crazy ones. It's just a better offense. Great. Great defense, and somebody hits a tough shot. I can live with that. You should be able to live with it. If they
Yeah,
continuously
but
repetitively do it.
sometimes those are just devastating blows. Think about that moment when Dylan Harper drives the right baseline and crosses
Yeah.
over in between 3 people to left-hand dunk it in traffic. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, you
Wow.
let
Yeah.
something like that happen in the middle of that 45 to 15 run, and it's like
Yeah.
you just feel the bullets hitting your bulletproof armor, and it's like, "Oh, I can't breathe."
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you play dirty to it, but this is the old school basketball. It's like someone comes in the lane, you know, we all go for the block shots. It's like in the old days, it's like, no, you're going to get one of those, and I'm going to foul
No,
you.
the main thought
Not
was
an
about the
intentional
body
hurt.
check, and the block shot was an after effect to the body check
Yeah,
if there was a
well,
block
yeah,
shot attempt.
yeah. Give them. Well, it's the if they're going up, bump them early, and then they're at that point it's already out, and then you can spike the ball at them in a sense. But
Yeah,
yes, can you go up and get the block? It's great. That has not worked worth a crap because all they do is our big comes across. Hey, there's a Cornette,
Cornet,
right?
yeah.
God, I'm Cornette. Bad with names today. He just has a lob dunk, so he makes a living on the backside just dunking it on everybody.
Just
Really, he doesn't have
remember
anybody to dunk it on.
just remember his last name is not Trumpet.
Trumpet, cornet. Okay, that
No,
works.
not Trumpet. Cornet.
Cornet.
Cornet is the exact same
Yes,
thing as
yes,
the
yes, yes.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Um, yeah,
Anyways, I
yeah.
think that's about
All right,
all I got.
we're good. Yeah, this long one. So
Yeah,
thanks everybody for watching. We can ramble again. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff. If you have questions or comments, throw them in there. We have no problem answering them. Um, these are not live, which we got to figure out how to do that. So our schedules don't allow that to do it during games usually. So we got to catch on these on a different day. But
yeah, I was thinking about
appreciate everybody listening.
doing some kinda, like, Mystery Science Theater 3000 way of, like, setting up a camera behind us, so it's just the outlines of our heads in front of the screen, and
Watching a game.
yeah, watching a game, and that would be a way of getting around copyright stuff for live broadcast of games, and anyways, we'll have to
That'd be
talk
interesting.
about that offline.
Play with that. Yep. All right. Tomorrow, 12:30. Come on, Portland. You can do this. Push this series to 6, which would be awesome. I think, yeah. At this point, we got to go for experience because we ain't getting a draft pick back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you got to win tomorrow. Go down there, punch them in the face, and get lucky. Great. Win one down there again. And come back to Portland and have a insanely rowdy crowd. Hopefully, at that point.
If we go up 3-2, that I gotta tell you, that's a really unexpected turn of events. At this
Yeah.
point, I don't expect to win 2 games in a row and go up 3-2.
Well, you can come back here and then they'd be up 3-2 and come back to Portland and win it and send it back to San Antonio.
Yeah.
Experience. We're just needing experience at this point.
Yep.
We've exceeded what we were kind of cheering for to happen. So that is not going to happen. And now it's a good experience. Get punched in the face again, and you come back and win one. Fantastic. And then you go, cool. We learned how to win. We need to do that a few more times. Bring it next season, most likely. But
Yeah.
anything they can get now. So we just need the experience and growth. Can we see that from everybody, including the coaching staff, making substitutions? Uh,
Well, here's to the growth from the coaching staff being going deeper in the bench again.
yes, we want to see that. We'll see how it goes. We will
Yep.
touch base after this next game, regardless before the game 5. Yeah, game 5. Yeah. Um, we'll see how they do.
All right. And as always,
Woohoo!
John,
Go Blazers.
rock on.
Peace.